Welcome to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano. Let's get you to the pulse on everything you need to know. And we are here at the beautiful Pilsner House and Beer Garden, located at 1422 Grand Street. Make sure you come visit them and you try the awesome pretzel, the awesome beer, and the awesome fried chicken sandwich that I believe the person to my right tried on camera not too long ago. And of course, she needs no introduction. It is Daria Peace of at Hoboken Eats, our Places Insider. Daria, so great having you back.
You know, I'm going to start getting resentful. You keep starting all these shows with all the foods that we've had and all the delicious food that the beer garden has, but yet I don't see anything in front of me.
So here's a funny story.
I see nothing in front of me.
The last two times that you've been on here talking about different places that you've been to, I have been discussing, sorry that I didn't have the food. I just didn't have the nerve to do it again, but you caught me. Caught.
It's okay.
And,
it's okay.
And here's the reason why I brought up the chicken sandwich here, because I believe that
it will come up again.
Amen. The next city that we're going to talk about that you have visited, now the previous two, San Diego and Toronto, I've visited those. The next one I've never been to. Hotlanta, also known as Atlanta, which of course is located in the great state of Georgia.
Yes.
Talk to me. Why'd you go to Atlanta and start your restaurant reviews down there? Let's do it.
Well, naturally, we had a wedding.
Miss Popular over here. I think I was invited to like 3 weddings in the last 3 years. You get
on
like 3 weddings in like 3 months.
We have a lot. We have a lot this year too.
Yeah.
But anywho, we went down. We got invited to a wedding down in Atlanta, so we made it a big friend trip. We went down a few days early, and my goodness, it did not disappoint. Oh. We actually even started off visiting some of Matt's family in Georgia. I can't tell you the exact town, but it was fun to be able to go there. They took us to Cracker Barrel.
Oh, which, by the way, there are some in New Jersey.
I don't even know.
But not close to here.
No.
And I have to tell you, I've been there in other cities. Awesome.
It was, they had like
awesome.
like a hash brown, like patties, like hush puppies, like every, I don't know, somehow the eggs just tasted better from this place. Like the coffee, everything was just like, it was the most basic breakfast I've ever seen, but it was just
so good.
So good.
And for the people that don't know, and Daria will explain this more, is they also have a store in there.
Right in there.
It's the coolest thing. It's like a country store.
To be able to eat and shop under the same roof is like a dream come true to me. Matt's worst nightmare, my dream come true.
Exactly. Matt's like, when is this table going to be ready?
I know.
Because there's always a wait there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Cracker Barrel is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we spoke about chicken.
Yes. So so we're gonna have a debate maybe. We might have to throw up a debate on this one.
All right, hold on. All right, I'm ready now.
Something that was really popular, that's really popular down in Atlanta, is lemon pepper wings.
Lemon pepper wings?
Lemon pepper. They exist here.
I'm a big fan. Okay.
But there's something about them in Atlanta that just makes them special. I don't know if they originated there. I don't know what the deal is. But when you go to Atlanta, you got to get the lemon pepper wings. Now.
Talk to me.
Do you get the lemon pepper wet? Or do you get the lemon pepper dry?
What? I've always had lemon pepper wings with like a dry rub.
They got it wet down there.
No.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Like you eat a buffalo wing when it's got the buffalo sauce?
Yeah.
Lemon pepper wet. You order it wet.
Okay.
That was the big debate. We
Mind-blowing.
basically went everywhere in Atlanta looking for lemon pepper wings.
Interesting.
Our favorite was a place called The Local.
Okay.
And when I tell you, it was off of the beaten path. It was like no one there. It was like dark as could be in there. Smelled like beer. I'm pretty sure my sneakers stuck to the floor. Like I don't even know where I was. And it was the best lemon pepper wings. We got both wet and dry. The best. And it's funny because of that trip to Atlanta, we now purposely go to the Shep because you can get lemon pepper wings there. So we always go over there to relive our Hotlanta days.
But that's dry there.
It's dry.
All
right. No, we haven't found wet in Jersey. But
I was gonna say, so Joe, our friend at the Shep, who owns it, of course, he's got to get the wet ones in there.
I know, gotta get the wet ones in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like any place that I visited south of, I don't know, North Carolina, the barbecue. Did you go to any barbecue places?
We didn't do any barbecue.
Okay, but talk to me.
What I did get, we went to this restaurant called Two Urban Licks.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very like chic, modern, upscale kind of vibes, but just like massive and really, I think, intentional for people to go to brunch there. It was a really cool vibe, great ambiance. But when I go to the South, you know how I feel about my pimento.
Oh yeah.
I've talked about this before. When I went to Charleston, pimento cheese is basically non-existent in Jersey.
I know. Why?
But it's existed everywhere else. So I made sure I was getting pimento cheese hush puppies. I got a pimento cheese BLT. I got the works. We got sangria. We were hungover as anything that morning, and we got pictures of sangria and all of the lovely things. And on top of that,
and this was at the local, or
this was at Two Urban Licks.
Sorry, Two Urban Licks. Sorry,
the
about
local
that.
was Wings.
Sorry,
Wings only.
I'm all confused.
Wings only.
Yeah.
This was a really fun brunch place. Another fun brunch place we went to was this biscuit joint.
Oh.
You
can't get biscuits like you get them in the
biscuits
South.
and gravy was just drenched, thick, delicious gooiness, absolutely amazing. And it was, I had like a moonshine mimosa or something crazy. I don't even know.
A moonshine
mimosa. It was like, I don't know. It was a good way to start the day, though, I'll tell you that much. I had a coffee while we waited for our table, and then I had that, and I was like, what are we doing today?
So a few weeks,
where are we going?
Exactly. So
I'm going back in April.
So a few weeks ago, you used the excuse in San Diego, California, about drinking at 10 a.m. But Atlanta is Eastern Standard Time, so there's no excuse. No. You just started drinking.
Yeah, I mean, I sat down at a table and there was a drink on the menu. What am I gonna do? Not get it?
Amen. I think everybody out there would agree with you.
Yeah,
besides those straight edge people.
And the thing that gets you is when they put it in like the big bold letters.
Right.
And you're like, oh, that's the signature drink.
That's it.
I gotta get it.
That's it.
How do you not get the signature drink? Speaking of drinking, we also went to some breweries.
Oh yeah, talk to me.
Sweetwater.
That sounds like
brewery.
a Southern brewery.
Sorry. It was fun. It was really fun. It was great
cool.
beers, great ambiance. We went and spent the day there. Again, it was a group of us, Matt and his friends and myself, and it was fun. It's a good time.
Now Atlanta, which 2-hour flight.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and
quick.
I heard that, by the way, that airport's like a city in itself.
Yeah.
That airport is ginormous.
We think that we're the biggest, but there's also some really great cities outside of New York.
Well, why do you think we do this segment every week
Gotta
here?
let everyone know.
And and people, I'm sure, go on your Instagram page at Hoboken Eats, and they check out your highlights, and they're like, we want to hear more about it, and that's what the Pulse does.
Yes. I give the inside scoop from the gram.
From the gram, she says. I absolutely love it. Any place else you would recommend, or?
I would say those were the big ones. Those were the biggies. We were only there for a few days. The wedding we went to was absolutely amazing. And I think I left with a pretty bad hangover. Overall from the weekend.
You were there for what, 3-4 days?
Three or 4 days, yeah. I think we did one day with Matt's family, and then the 2 days with the brewery, and then the 2 brunches.
Right.
I think I had Chick-fil-A for the first time down there.
Boom. Closed on Sunday still. So we spoke about this with Toronto the last time you were on, regarding how Atlanta could be like a party city as well.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
I would like to go back and experience that a little bit more, but I do think that there's a lot of bars. We did find a lot of bars. I think that the breweries also can really get a good crowd going too. I think it's not even about nightlife. I think it's all about that day drinking.
Drinking. So you would go back. That's my next question.
I would go back.
100%.
I would go back, and I would go back to the places we went to too. That's how good they were.
Boom. Daria Peace giving us everything we need to know. You see that?
I like
you see
it.
that?
I like it. I'm taking over his job soon.
100%. The Pulse with Daria
He's like,
Peace.
I'm waiting for it.
Exactly. Tell me about it. Trust me. I'm like, these lights are getting. You would think I would get tan under these lights.
I know.
We need it. Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it. Please follow her at Hoboken Eats, and you're gonna have to tune into a future episode to see where else she talks about, because I don't like to ruin surprises.
I love it.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Daria. I really appreciate it. All right, folks, we will be right back.
Welcome to Hudson River Care Counseling. Hello, I'm Dr. Pam Pater-Ennis, the CEO and founder of Hudson River Care Counseling, with over 30 years of clinical social work experience in therapy. We are a progressive counseling and coaching practice with a diverse team that brings a holistic approach to clients. We offer support both in person and through digital platforms such as telehealth. Consider us a safe haven that you can trust with care for your mental health needs. Visit our website to set up a consultation today.
Peter Biancamano, your hostess with the mostest of the Pulse with Peter B. Folks, don't forget to go on our Facebook and our Instagram pages by searching the Pulse with Peter B and like and follow us on each of those platforms. We're constantly updating those pages with previews of each week's segments and cool stories. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our email address at thepulsewithpeterb@gmail.com.
Welcome back to the Pulse with Peter B. Peter Biancamano back at North Jersey's leading hospital. That's Hudson Regional Hospital, located at 55 Meadowlands Parkway in Secaucus, New Jersey, a place we've been to many times before. But the person to my right, we have never met before. He's making his Pulse premiere, and that is the director of the Institute for Robotic Surgery here at HRH, my good friend, Dr. Asulin. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So the director of robotic surgery, I guess the first question is, doctor, what is robotic surgery?
Well, robotic surgery is a surgical modality that's minimally invasive. We pretty much perform very similar surgeries to what we used to perform, years back, only using a new technology that's minimally invasive, all done through little tiny cuts, little incisions. More precision. It's just the way we do complex surgeries now without having to open cavities.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. And I guess, what are some of the cases that robotic surgery could be used for?
Well, I would say that most cases can be done robotically. Most cases that traditionally were done in an open approach can be done robotically. I do gynecology, urogynecology, and I can tell you that we utilize a technology called the Da Vinci robotic systems, which is the most advanced robotic system in the world, and we have it right here at Hudson Regional Hospital. We pretty much utilize this system to perform all complex cases within GYN, such as hysterectomies, myomectomies, prolapse surgeries, and whatnot. So cases that typically required big, large incisions, in the abdomen, long recovery, long hospital stays. We usually do these kind of cases as a same-day surgery. Patients go home the same day with very little tiny incisions and better outcome, actually.
And that's fantastic. And I think we need to really cover the benefits, because I'm no medical expert and I don't play one on TV. But anything that's minimally invasive is certainly, as you mentioned, a shorter recovery time. So I guess one of the big benefits, that kind of answered my own question, is because it's minimally invasive under robotic surgery, correct?
Right. That's exactly it. So, this whole minimally invasive approach, started many years ago with laparoscopy, and we did certain cases, from a vaginal approach, for an example, rather than abdominal approach, to minimize blood loss and shorten recovery periods. Then we went to laparoscopy, which is also through small incisions, but instruments that were not complex, were not articulating, were not wristed instruments. And with robotic surgery, pretty much we can mimic the surgeon's hands, where pretty much we insert these instruments through little tiny incisions, the size of an M&M candy. And these instruments can pretty much mimic whatever we do with our bare hands, only a little bit more precise. So we do these cases, that are complex, that typically, require long stays, and there's a large blood loss during the surgery. We're able to do those now with a robot, where we typically lose minimal amount of blood, sometimes a teaspoon of blood for the whole complex surgery. And patient is back on their feet the next day, and essentially within days can start driving and resume normal life.
And obviously experience has a lot to do with this too. From what I understand, you do a lot of this here at the facility here at Hudson Regional Hospital. And certainly that's importance for any patient who's looking for something minimally invasive through Da Vinci or any of these other models?
Absolutely, absolutely. I would say experience is everything when it comes to robotic surgery. Here at Hudson Regional, we have the latest technology in the world. I mean, there's nothing more advanced. But I think that more important than that, the team and the surgeons that we have here are probably the leading, surgeons within their respective fields in the country. We do the volume and complexity of cases that we do here parallels any big center around the country, and we probably do it better. It is a gem of a place. It's a small hospital, but yet we probably do the most complex work in the Northeast, I would say, with very large volume.
That is terrific. Well, Dr. Asulin, thank you so much. It's been an honor having you on.
My pleasure.
I was a little
Thank you
nervous
for having
starting,
me.
but I'm a little better now. The director for the Institute of Robotic Surgery here at Hudson Regional Hospital. It is an absolute pleasure meeting you. Thank you for all your fine work.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, folks, more after this commercial break.
Peter Biancamano back with you. Don't forget to watch us on cable access every Sunday and Monday at 9 a.m. Optimum Channel 18, Fios Channel 46, and Comcast Channel 190. Also on Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m., you can watch our show on our YouTube channel, and you can also binge watch all of our old shows. Who doesn't want to keep watching The Pulse with Peter B? We'll see you there.
Welcome back to Hudson Regional Hospital, located at 55 Meadowlands Parkway, and we're honored to be joined by two longtime Hudson County doctors, and that is Dr. Correa and Dr. Rodriguez. Gentlemen, welcome to The Pulse.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Dr. Correa, we're going to start with you. OneMD. What is OneMD?
OneMD is a primary care practice that hopefully in the future will be a multi-specialty practice, which is associated with Hudson Regional Hospital.
And it's associated with Hudson Regional Hospital. And Dr. Rodriguez, what type of services will OneMD be providing?
Well, OneMD will be providing basic health care to the community, annual visits, management of chronic conditions, whether diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, sick visits.
Interesting. Okay. So it really, Dr. Correa, it's really your almost your urgent care, but not many urgent cares can say they're affiliated with a hospital, correct? So what are some of the benefits of with being affiliated with Hudson Regional Hospital?
So the benefits of being associated with Hudson Regional Hospitals, we could bring a lot of those hospital resources out to the community. The important thing about that is just getting all their primary care needs with also the backing of the hospital resources, such as subspecialties, testing, and procedures that need to be done.
And Dr. Rodriguez, if I'm not mistaken, is there one location now and a second one is opening up, or two locations now and a third one's opening up?
So right now we're at 3 locations.
3 locations, gotcha.
So here in the hospital in Secaucus,
Okay.
one in North Bergen and one in North Arlington.
Okay, so basically you're covering Hudson and Bergen County right now, but obviously you're looking to expand. Dr. Rodriguez, one of the things that, we were joking about before the segment started is you come all the way from North Bergen, which is the next city over, and Dr. Correa comes from Trenton. But it's super important to have longtime Hudson County doctors like yourself who know this area. It's an extremely diverse area. I believe that Hudson County is in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the most diverse county in the country. And for you guys to be from here and practice here for all this time, I'm sure that's important for any patients who might be watching at home, that they have people from their own backyards servicing them, basically, right or wrong, Dr. Correa?
No, absolutely. It's important to be in touch with the community that you work with, especially with our Hispanic background, but there's a large Hispanic population, and we are both bilingual. And one thing that has helped us is being able to bridge that communication gap we've also experienced a lot of patients state that they feel like whenever you have to translate to a language line, they feel like maybe something's lost in translation, or they don't have that rapport with the provider. And also it's important just to know the cultural background. You have to educate them on what it really is medically necessary and what are the true medical things versus some cultural things that, even our families do. And, we just have to, clarify, what really is needed medically and what may just be some cultural things that we do that may not fit the science.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's all about comfort level. Am I right or wrong, Dr. Rodriguez?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, well, OneMD, you can visit their 3 locations, either in the hospital here or in North Bergen or North Arlington. Not hard to forget, right? North and North in Bergen and Hudson County. Dr. Rodriguez and Dr. Correa, thank you so much for joining me today, and congratulations on this new endeavor.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. All right, folks, we will be right back.
Peter Biancamano back with you. Don't forget to watch us on cable access every Sunday and Monday at 9 a.m. Optimum Channel 18, Files Channel 46, and Comcast Channel 190. Also on Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m., you can watch our show on our YouTube channel, and you can also binge watch all of our old shows. Who doesn't want to keep watching The Pulse with Peter B? We'll see you there.
Welcome back to The Pulse with Peter B. Peter Biancamano back in the host chair and back at the beautiful offices of Hudson River Care and Counseling, located at 310 Cedar Lane in Teaneck, New Jersey, and 63A 8th Street in Hoboken, New Jersey. And the person to my far right needs absolute no introduction. She always laughs when I say the address because I have to do it with my hands. And that is
Italian.
Exactly. The founder and CEO here at Hudson River Care and Counseling, Dr. Pam Pater-Ennis. So great to see you again, Dr.
Yes,
Pam.
it's always fun.
Exactly. And the last time we were on, we had a family affair. We were here, I should say. We had a family affair, Dr. Pam. And we're just going to continue that familiness here with your lovely daughter, Leah Ennis, who is and I'm going to butcher this, so I need you to help me out with this, a Reiki, master and teacher. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, since I did butcher the name, we're going to start with you, Leah. Explain to the audience what Reiki actually is.
It comes from Japanese, actually. The literal Reiki word means universal life force energy. So if whether you have religious beliefs, you're spiritual, or maybe you don't believe in any sort of spiritual anything, it's still a energy that flows through all of us naturally through the earth.
Wow.
So it's just a beautiful, natural thing that we all encompass.
Okay. Understood. And by the way, I forgot, it's also mentioned, as you could tell, she followed in her father's footsteps. She is also
I'm
an
ordained in the
minister
Reformed Church.
in
yes.
the Reformed Church. So yes, absolutely. Dr. Pam, this type of service, Reiki, as Leah mentioned, you guys do have some sort of therapy here that focuses on that, correct?
Yeah, we've really tried to be creative. We do obviously mostly traditional psychotherapy based on traditional, really, I have to say, Western theories that came out of a lot of European theorists and American theorists. But there's been so much movement in society now in the US even to bring in some Eastern philosophies that we now have. You've met Alexandria Tava in an earlier segment who does sound healing for us, and then Leah would probably be our second more non-traditional practitioner. Neither one of them are licensed, but so they work with us in conjunction with what we do. So in other words, Leah will come into a session or Alexandria will come into a session and do their art. I also call it an art.
An art, okay. Because and that's exactly, because, forgive me, I'm a little confused, but that's why we're here. Is it a service? Is it a type of therapy? But like you said, it's an art.
It's really not. It is therapeutic in that we people who usually, again, because a lot of our work here is with trauma survivors, like people who have sexual abuse backgrounds, or people who have like unremitting depressions, the kind of people that
Severe anxiety.
Severe anxiety that Leah has worked with. And I think right now, Leah, we are working together on 2 cases.
Two particular.
I was wondering if you can possibly, without obviously going into
Sure.
any specific.
One in particular, we've been working with. I started working with her for about 4 or 5 years ago.
I think so, quite a while ago.
She has a chronic physical disability that's progressive, but she just had this kind of unremitting anxiety disorder. And it just, leaving the house was becoming so crippling. So this is really an additional therapy, a way for her to kind of deal with doing basic things, leaving the house, essentially things, as well as Reiki, which is really the transmission of energy. I'm not giving the energy, but the vessel to her. Through that, as well as giving her some other practices to do, whether it be meditation, mantras, or finding tools that works for her, like self-talk tools, to help her really settle into, I can leave the house. It's okay. What's the worst thing that can happen? I need to ask for help. Or it's okay to ask for a ride somewhere. It's just these basic tools that will get her through the anxiety episode.
So
and not to fix it, but it helps ease.
If I could just jump in. So I might be working with this woman who's in her 60s. She has this progressive neurological disorder, and she is gotten progressively more ill as we've worked together. But and already has a pre-existing anxiety condition. You can well imagine that her anxiety is even greater. But what Leah can do is I can work with her to dig deep on what's going on, but Leah can give her tools that I necessarily don't have in my toolbox.
Wow.
And in this case, and actually in the 2 cases we can talk about, the women would both identify as pretty devout Christians. And so that's where Leah comes in, because she can use her knowledge of Scripture, New Testament, Old Testament Scripture, but to combine it with some Eastern principles in a way that really gives them some new ideas and ways to look at life.
And to me, and before we get to, that's what's amazing about Hudson River Care Counseling, is that the wide array of services that they can provide here and in Hoboken at 63A 8th Street. Sorry.
At 310 Cedar Lane.
And 310 Cedar Lane, yeah, but I always get the latter confused. The wide array of services is just phenomenal. I mean, because of the backgrounds of each of the staff members here. So, Leah, I'm sorry, I know you wanted to follow up to what Mom was saying.
Oh, no, I was just saying, and the other client that I know we work on, again, she does identify as Christian, but she's so crippled by past traumas, childhood trauma, that just she can't let up from. Right. So it's, again, giving spiritual resources for that works for her, although not all my clients consider themselves religious. So it's finding where they are as well. So I want to say that as well. Not all of our clients are religious per se.
Right. Just that we tend to be able to work with, again, we can work with religious, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, or non-religious people. But Leah, like any good practitioner, you have to assess, what does your client need? Do they need to use religious resources? Do they not? And then how does that combine with the tools that you have? Right.
And what I guess leads me to my follow-up question is, I'm sure, I know you mentioned 2 cases, but there probably are many other cases that you can use your practitioner status in terms of doing so.
Yeah, whether it's traditional Reiki, meditation, spiritual resources. I think it's not limited, but it's finding out what those people need.
Correct.
And not forcing your own belief systems on. And I think this practice has been really good at finding that balance.
And Dr. Pam, I think Leah hit the nail on the head there. It's really an evaluation when you walk into HRCC at first to figure out what the person or the client actually needs, if I'm not mistaken.
And it's really ongoing too, because like this woman we mentioned has been with us for, I think 5, if not even 6 years now, because she just needs that weekly support given her health. and she's a single woman and needs just a lot of support. So we constantly are assessing the progression of her disease and the progression of her anxiety and depression.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we are running out of time here. So get over to HudsonRiverCareandCounseling.com or give them a call. And Leah, I'm going to make you say the phone number because I always put the person on the spot. So we might pass it over to Dr. Pam to say the phone number.
201-541-8600.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there. Or
I never use it.
Exactly. But the website, right, is there.
And ask for N. Young.
N. Young, that's correct. Yes, who we love and is not here today, so we miss you. Dr. Pam, Leah, thank you so much. And thank you again for your continued service to the North Jersey community. So really, really appreciate it. And we'll see, hopefully, both of you soon. So,
Yes.
Absolutely. All right, folks, join us next week for The Pulse on everything you need to know. I'm Peter Biancamano. I hope you have a great week, everybody.